Hi everybody, let's talk about the partial solar eclipse happening on the 29th of March 2025, and it falls in 9 degrees of Aries. Solar eclipse is a very unique event in astrology because with solar eclipse always happens on a new moon. Okay, so when the new moon happens, symbolically time of planting new seed, starting some new projects, new beginnings. When one of the nodes, moon nodes, is close to one of the luminaries, sun or moon, well, in this case, both of them, when they conjunct together, this is where we have solar eclipse. Okay, now when we have full moon, so the sun is opposing the moon and they are close to one of the nodes, this is when we have the lunar eclipse. Okay, so with solar eclipse is like a new beginning on steroids. It's fated, it's very much karmic, as people say. It's a very significant new moon, so it's probably the most significant new moon of the whole year. Okay, because this is the eclipse. I'll break it down regarding the symbolism of the sign and how it's aspected, etc. With every lunar eclipse, we have time of release, letting go, But we are not talking about lunar eclipse. We had lunar eclipse 2 weeks ago, which was very significant. And I've heard of so many endings, people walking away from habits, from relationships, from projects, from ideas, from homes, from work. But with this one, solar eclipse, it's like a power surge. The sun is emphasized here. So it's new energy brought in, and we have this new moon on steroids, literally. Solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse. 9 degrees of Aries is very strongly activated point, because this is the point in which we have both Venus and Mercury currently retrograding, and kind of like stopping at this point to go direct and then go retrograde, then go direct, etc. So 9 degrees of Aries is a very strongly activated point. Have a look where it falls in your chart. Do you have any important point or planet there between 8 and 11, maybe 8 to 10, let's say, 7 to 11 degrees of cardinal signs, which is Aries, Libra, Capricorn or Cancer. If you have anything significant there, you will feel this very much. You will feel these retrogrades very much. You will feel this solar eclipse very much, because this point in horoscopes, in the zodiac, is very strongly activated throughout March and April. Okay, so pay attention to your chart, have a look. So yes, with solar eclipse, technically this is where luminaries are close to the nodal axis. In this case, we have the north node in 27 degrees of Pisces. So, let's say 12 degrees away from the solar eclipse. The eclipse happens in 9 degrees of Aries, where the sun and the moon meet. So this is a new moon on steroids, okay? Astrologers say that with eclipses, we have this fated kind of developments, major new beginnings, new chapters, planting a seed. Okay, this is very much about like karmic fated events that are meant to push us towards our path of development in life. So for example, around this solar eclipse, you may, for example, meet somebody that will have a huge impact on your future. You may start a new job. I know a few people that are actually starting a new job on the 30th of March, which is the perfect choice, because this is kind of like prompting you on the path of your development. Like, these are the things you are meant to go through to grow, develop, and experience certain energies in your life. So there are really important big new beginnings. You may meet a person, I don't know, with whom you'll end up, for example, in a relationship for the rest of your life. This is a new moon on steroids, new beginnings, new projects, new initiatives coming up to surface. It's a karmic kind of energy giving you a nudge towards your destiny, your path. Okay, it is important. It's very important. It's probably the most important new moon of this whole year, 2025. So for the last 2 years, we have been having eclipses on this axis between Aries and Libra. So themes of individuality, versus relationships. How much I step into my own power, how courageous, independent I am, how much I take action on my own, how pioneering I am, how much I step into my power, how much I want to fight for what I believe, working on my own, being an individual, being selfish, versus energy of cooperation, maybe a bit of sacrifice in the relationship, working with others, teamwork, more balanced energy. So this theme has been very much going on during eclipses over the last 2 years. And this eclipse is the last one on this axis. So this is going out with a bang, okay? Because the next series of eclipses will be in different signs. So this major new beginning is very much colored with Mercury and Venus both being retrograde during the time of this partial solar eclipse. So this colors, this event, both Mercury and Venus in retrograde motion, colors this solar eclipse with very much of introspection, revisiting certain events from the past, our life choices from the past. It's about reflecting on consequences of what we have chosen in the past. It's about reliving certain situations or thinking whether, the choices we have made around our values, Venus, what we love, what we value, financial aspect, but any other kind of like worth and value energy in our life. And Mercury retrograde being anything to do with decisions, mental processes, anything to do with communication as well. So it's like going back, revisiting the choices we have made, what we value, very much introspection, focused around introspection. This is this solar eclipse very strongly colored with. Ruler of the eclipse is Mars, because the eclipse happens in Aries, 9 degrees of Aries. So the ruler of Aries is Mars. Mars is at the moment in Cancer. It's been retrograding for many, many months. It's been in Cancer for many, many months, and it's been retrograding, I think, for 3.5 months in the meantime. So Mars being the ruler of the eclipse in Cancer, very strong focus is on family, emotions, sense of tradition, putting roots down. It's about protection. It's about emotional and financial security. It is very much about defense as well. So defending our family, defending our folk, any kind of defense, protection, security, both to do with finances and emotions. Okay, so this theme will come up to surface as well. Sun and Moon meeting in 9 degrees of Aries in this new moon on steroids, the partial solar eclipse in Aries, obviously bring us the energy of Aries. So ignition, it's like ignition, spark, kind of starting things afresh. It's about courage, bold action, quick decision, jumping into the fire. It's about being selfish. It's about choosing ourselves. Okay, it's about independent action. It's not necessarily about teaming up with others, but it's about what am I able to accomplish, what I want to achieve. I am. It's about, I am, my own identity, competition, independence, individuality, potentially some conflict as well. But it's all about entrepreneurship and starting on your own. So being independent. Place some focus there, okay? Because this eclipse will very much bring this to surface, and I would say the energies will call upon you being independent, showing some courage and showing initiative, rather than trying to lean too much on other people. Okay, so it is about your own individual initiative being very much valued at the time. Good news is, this is all good news, all right? This solar eclipse may be a very useful and a beautiful kind of fated karmic event, let's say, for the future, prompting us, nudging us towards this line of our destiny, path of our destiny, where we can actually really experience and develop things we are meant to learn in this life. Okay, as I said, potentially meeting somebody that will have a huge impact on us, or a new teacher in our life, or a new partner, or starting a new job that will be bringing a lot of fulfillment for the future. So it's a beautiful eclipse actually, but also it is in a very useful way supported by 3 major planets. It is positively supported. It's in harmony with Saturn, giving sense of endurance, enduring test of time. It's about long-lasting, building long-lasting structures. So it's very much setting some kind of structure on these events, promising long-term events. Well, eclipse is anyway. And also let's remember that the eclipse itself may be happening on the 29th of March, but the results of it will be unfolding over the coming 6 months, okay? So it doesn't mean that on the day you will have these fated events, but some energies may get activated for you, and they will develop and unfold over the coming 6 months, okay? Even leading up to 18 months, because eclipse has a very much long-lasting effect. So it doesn't have to be just on the day, but watch the space on the day as well, of course. So Saturn being in harmony with this new moon on steroids is promising some longer lasting results, enduring test of time, and giving some kind of longevity to these projects. Also, Venus, although retrograding, is also in harmony with Sun and Moon in 9 degrees of Aries. So this correlates very much with the values that you have just recently revisited. Venus has been retrograding for some time now, I think from the 1st of March, if I'm not wrong, so for the whole month actually. And all this revisiting, reflecting, introspecting, going back to the past and rethinking our choices regarding what we value, what is important to us, these new kind of values that we have revisited very much correlate with this energy of this solar eclipse. And the third influence is this solar eclipse is in harmony with Jupiter as well, which brings very nice balance. Jupiter is very much about expansion, optimism, this kind of like adventurous, jovial energy. Jupiter expands everything it touches, so it gives beautiful, optimistic, positive, enthusiastic touch to these new beginnings that you are about to embark on. So altogether, it's really gorgeous. You know, check out where 9 degrees of Aries is in your chart, this area of your life, or maybe this astrological point or planet that it gets activated together with this solar eclipse. Is actually going to come to focus for you over the coming months. I would say, you know, throughout the whole year, this is the most important new moon. So so I would suggest you really do have a look at your chart and see how you can utilize these energies and lay down certain plans, for example. You know, with every eclipse, there's also a great deal of versatile, volatile energy, unpredictability and chaos. And talking to you every day, guys, I know that March has been crazy. April is still going to be crazy. I'm sorry, but we have so much very multi-layered astrological energies here that I've described in different videos as well, with both retrogrades, equinox, also Neptune changing sign going into Aries, and these 2 eclipses in specific points that are very strongly activated throughout March and April. Sometimes it may feel like the world is literally standing on its head. One day something is happening, we are going in a certain direction. Next day we have a complete turnaround and things are going in a completely different direction. There is a lot of unpredictability and chaotic circumstances around us. And even more so importantly, I would say, we can actually really utilize this astrological tool as partial solar eclipse, knowing where it falls in your chart in 9 degrees of Aries, to actually, you know, lay out some plan, some structure, and think about what it is that you want to change, upgrade, shift in your life. And these new beginnings, this new moon on steroids, gives you an opportunity to truly implement these changes, you know, with a permanent effect for the future. So it's a great opportunity. Let's make the most of it, and I'll see you next time.